Making the holiday unforgettable. Well, I know we are left with a few weeks, for the children to go back to school, but we can still make our holidays unforgettable. Hi viewer, and welcome to the Family Hour. We are here under the theme of parenting. Happy New Year, and I hope you are doing well. How is January? Well, my name is Claire Wenje, the world's favorite host, and this show is in partnership with Life Ministry Uganda. We are excited to be back here, and I know you will be blessed because you tuned in. Today in the studio, I have an amazing couple, a very, very great couple, and they're here, of course, to share their experience and also to give us ideas and tips on how we can make the remaining days unforgettable. I'm with Joel and Stella, and I'll give them a platform to tell us how they are and briefly tell us about themselves. It's very important to know because the stranger is a danger. Ladies and gentlemen watching this show, please join me welcome this great couple here, and of course you will enjoy because you tuned in. I love you all. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Happy to have you on the show.
Happy to be here.
Yes, and really it's exciting to have you, the great couple here. Yes. Please say hello to the viewer, and of course tell us more about you. We need to really get to know more about you.
All right.
Do I go first here? Sometimes you'll be like ladies first, but things have changed. Now it's gents.
Oh yeah, it's gents first.
When did they change?
Mbu, it's a mbu.
So we shall go against them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Claire, for having us. Good evening, our dear viewers. I hope the new year is doing us great. My name is Mrs. Bato Stella. I am a wife. I'm a mother of two lovely boys. I love God.
Amen.
I love God. I'm passionate about family. I'm a procurement officer. I work with Gaza High School in the procurement department. I fellowship at the school chapel, Gaza High School. We belong to a marrieds fellowship, Gaza Cabanyoro Marrieds Fellowship. I know they are watching us. We send you our greetings, GK Fellowship. We belong to St. Francis Chapel.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Happy to have you, the Giza babes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Happy to have you, Stella. Yes, right here.
Yes.
Now your turn is here.
Officially, so good evening, everyone. My name is Joel Bato. I am married to Stella Bato for the last 5 years. I work as a teacher at Gaza High School. I've been there 15 years.
Wow.
Yes, and like she mentioned about where we fellowship from, Gaza High School Chapel, but also we have a marriage fellowship, the St. Francis Marriage Fellowship that we belong to, which has helped us sharpen each other in the area of family, and we appreciate that. We have two boys. She forgot to add. We have a third teenage boy.
Oh wow!
That is also really under our care. So we're happy to be here. And we hope that everyone will be blessed by our show, by what we have to present on the show.
Well, happy to have you. I think we may need to host you on our twin sister show called How We Met. We need to know how you guys met, because I'm here. Gayaza. So we need to know what Gayaza is not doing.
Sure.
Wow.
We need to know. That's a story. I think.
Let me not preempt. Gayaza is the current situation, but.
Oh, okay. We have to host you on that show. Yeah. You tell us how you guys met. But now we are here under the theme of parenting, and a topic, like you already know, making the holiday unforgettable. Yes. So I know maybe a parent would be there and is wondering, we are left with a few days. School fees is coming up and stuff. Like a lot is on parents' heads, I would really imagine. But then I would love to pick it up from you. When we talk about making our holidays unforgettable, even the 2 weeks that are left for some, what comes in your mind? Let's pick your mind on that.
The ladies first thing worked for the introductions.
Okay, no problem.
You can take that.
So what this means is, from the perspective of a teacher, students spend a lot of time in school compared to home. And when you think about that, in that way, you realize that it's important that a mark is made in the life of this child while they are home. Why? Because they're going to spend over 70% of the rest of the time in school. And so we definitely have to think about how to make a mark. And when you talk about how to make holidays unforgettable, what mark are we leaving in the lives of these children? What are the reference points they can have and say, while we were home, this happened, whatever it is, whatever story the child has to give. It doesn't have to be a lot. One thing I know is that everyone is a star in their story, so the things must work out somehow. So if the holiday has not had any highlights, I feel like you create you make it difficult for the life of this child to even have anything to talk about. Their friends are talking about, we did this, we did that, and one is just, well, okay, nothing exactly. So I think it's doing something that a child will refer to, not only when they go back to school, but later in their lives. Right now that we've grown up, we try to think about those things that happened in our childhood. So we hold on to those stories even right now. And so it's not only for school purposes, but also for the years to come, to set a reference point, for them in the future.
Wow. Well, thank you. And when you talked about that, I was just reminded of my childhood story. I remember when I reached home, when I reached at school, everyone was saying, now me, I went in a car with my dad, with my wife. Now me, I was like, okay, I can't be the last in this game. I was like, what? My dad has an aeroplane.
Oh, yes.
So like I can imagine how you feel when they're saying we went for a picnic, we went for a fellowship with daddy, we went for a date with daddy and mommy. So like if you didn't do anything, you feel bad. Let me take your mind on that.
Yeah, when you talk about unforgettable, what came to my mind is when we are long gone, it's the memories that remain for the children. So to me, it's more about something that is I could say a bit unusual, something exciting for these children. And of course, we look at the age groups. They are the very little ones, they are the teens, they are those in between 5 and 11. So you get something that suits each of those groups so that it keeps in their memories. It keeps in their memories. Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's what I would say.
Yeah, and really, I really love that. But also, I would love to really get it up from you. Now, some students feel like now we are back home.
Yeah.
It's time to relax. It's time to sleep. How do you really balance them wanting to relax and you having to now have a time with them, maybe teach them a thing? How do you balance the two? For them, they have come to relax, but then as a parent, for you have a plan for the holiday.
Yes. So you find that sometimes that question actually becomes a bit tricky because you might actually have an intention, but do you even have the time to execute your plan? So children or holiday makers can easily get away with some of those things because it's hectic back at school. That's one thing for sure. We have no mercy on them. We are taking them for a ride. We are taking them for a ride. You are giving them assignments, and even at the end of the term, there's even holiday work. So it's a lot. We have to complete the syllabus. All these things. There's a lot of work to do. So when they come home, they want to relax a bit. So I think what you do, you let them relax. You let them relax, and then see how to introduce the other things. But also you put the situation out there for them to know that this is what's happening. I know of very many holiday makers who were looking forward to VAC. They went through a lot of hectic time in S4, then they went to VAC. They literally wanted to run out of school in celebration.
Yeah.
They reached home, and they were the only ones at home, and they had to do all their chores of the home. They were like, No. So whenever they got an opportunity to run out of home, they want to go for any kind of camp, because when they are home, they're doing all the chores. And that's what it is. You know, at some point work has to be done, and someone has to be responsible. So whenever you are able to get them to do work, you leave home with a list of assignments. So the typical thing happens, you know, you say, today, do this, clean that. Okay, yes, I've had. You go in the evening, you come back, and half of the things have been done, or a quarter, or none. And they are in the chair sitting. Then they see you, they stand up and start doing work. At that point, say, what were you doing? I have been finishing this work. So, you know, it's sometimes maybe that is due to one reason or another. And you know, maybe they haven't seen you do this work, or they've seen you do the work, and for you are like, this parent is superhuman. So striking a balance, because all of a sudden you then become the monster, because I've given you work, I have come back, you have not done the work I told you. So, you know, when you come back, you're now saying, you're now backing at them. You know, you didn't do the work I told you. What have you been doing? You're wasting time. You know, you're just eating food. You know, whatever outburst it might be. So it's a bit of a challenge, just to answer the question. While you can talk about the plan that you have, pulling it off is another thing. It's one thing to have a plan, and it's another thing to actually execute the plan. Unless if the child themselves the person has self-drive, they know what they want, and they make your life simple.
Wow. Still, I have something?
Maybe just to add a little, I think sometimes, you know, these children come from school when they're a bit programmed. They've been following a particular system. So maybe we need to just borrow a bit of the school systems, that we shall put up a timetable. And we know that today, Stella will cook, Joel will clean, so that when you come back, you have someone to point at. Because if you leave it open, everyone will be like, I don't know who's supposed to do it. And so maybe sometimes you need to come up with a bit of a structured system to get them, you know, in line, to know that this is our responsibility. And I've heard of some homes where when the children come, the house help goes. So that now you know the base is ours, and we need to get the work done. But also to make the activities maybe a little bit interesting. Probably if it's washing, you can assemble all the basins, all of you wash together. Sometimes these children need a little bit of involvement of the parents to make the activities a bit maybe fun, not so playful, but fun to get them done.
And
That's
maybe
a good tip.
the funny thing, the young children who can't actually do the work like to do work a lot. The 3-year-olds, those ones will want to wash, but their washing is really more of a mess. But those ones like to work. But the older ones, the teenagers, it then becomes work. You know, so the dynamics are quite different as we think about.
Oh, wow. Good, interesting tips there. I know we are taking notes. So, I know a viewer out there would be wondering, we are just left with a few weeks for the children to go back to school. How can I really make this holiday unforgettable? Any tips, any ideas? Yeah.
So, I mean, the holiday is really running out. We have technically about 2 weeks or so. So, what do you do? I think it's about understanding. It's about understanding how you can get through to the children, depending on their age group that we're talking about. The strategy you have for a primary going child is different from a teenager. It's different from nursery school. So when you have that in mind, you know, you say, if I have P1, P2 children, we will take them out to go and play, you know, a play park, or just have a play date, because that for them, those are the stories that they'll have. It might not be applicable to one in maybe upper primary, P6, P7. They've all of a sudden feel a bit old. They're like, I don't do those children's
I
things.
know.
And so it then changes. Yes, and then for the teenagers, those ones are also in their own world. They have their own definition of everything. So for them also, coming up with the activity that makes sense to them. You know, I feel like people, the children want presents. I think, so what we can do, you can be intentional about being a little more present in their lives. Let them see you, you know, more. And, you know, sometimes we register our presence in different ways. Sometimes I register my presence by shouting, where is everyone? Come here. Where have I talked? And that you know, that is a different kind of presence. I mean, they've seen that all holiday. But we're talking about being present to just talk to them, you know, about life. How are you going to bond? How are you going to bond with them? So become a bit vulnerable, you know, to talk about life, you know, how life treated you, because I think children look at us like we God just put us there. You know, we came from Mars. But you know, I think when you open up and become a bit, you're more of human, that is good. So presence, but also doing different things with them. That's what I look at as presence as well. They need to know how daddy behaves in different you know, different circumstances, life circumstances, and they want to, I think when they see that, they are learning something. You know, one of the most painful things right now is leaving home right now. The children don't want us to leave home. They, you know, they're like, where are you going? Hey, you're going to the office. I also like to go to office. You know,
true.
And that says a lot. They just want you to be there. Unfortunately, of course, you know, when you're looking for money is not there. You know, but I think in the final days, let us leave that mark. Be present. Yes, and if you can go ahead and do some fun activities. Teenagers like, if a parent, you can come out and all of a sudden you dance. It's not like you're the best dancer, but you dance a little. Like, you know, there are people that ever dance. Someone that I least expected to dance, I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Wow.
You know, because we're busy dancing. For us, we think we can dance, and then for him, he comes and he does his thing, and he's trying to do what you're doing, and that for me, I can talk about it like it sinks. You know, like, wow, this guy is actually with us. I think that is that. Of course, other things, if you can, you know, a day out. People like to have a good meal. People like to go to these nice fancy places. You know, you went to CJ's. You know, these days people have phones, take pictures, and, you know, posts. Like, everyone knows we went out and we were having a good time.
I'm telling you. Like, the whole world must know.
Yes, you know, I think those are the ways for now. I don't want to preempt them for
Yeah, let's get to that.
Yeah, maybe I could say, if the 62 days of January are not yet in your pocket,
Telling you.
surely you can plan to take the children out. For the younger ones, I think it's the playing, it's the fun that makes the memories for them. So you can take them out. But if the sun of January is in your wallet, you can bring the fun home. You can decide, these days there are some good engaging movies. You can watch movies with the children and ask them, you know, what have you got from this? Life's lessons. You can, these days I see so many people trying to bake with their children, cooking, and then they post the pictures and put on their statuses. Yeah, so you can create activities, bring them home if you can't take them out. For those that love sports, he's very good at sports, so he's always engaging our teenage nephew. They go and play basketball. That's a memory for him. It's like, hey, and uncle, we played well. What? So that's also something else that can create a memory for them. Sometimes you know how to play cards with him in the sitting room in the evening, a random evening. You just play cards and you chat about anything. It tells you about the school stories, and they always have those stories of the skeletons. I don't know for you which school you went to, but yeah, those, so that's also a memory if it's not within budget, you know, to move out and do all the other things. Yeah, I think also spending quality time with them is very key.
Yeah, I think there is no excuse, because you can do the simple
things,
yes. You know, we tend to say money, what, but I think, like you mentioned, you can bring it in, you know, you can bring it at home, just do something simple. Wow, I think I just love that. And now that you are all in education set, I would love to hear from you. Usually it's stressful, when parents are taking back their children. Maybe
Yeah.
it's school fees, I don't know, maybe anxiety or pressure. But that season, it usually takes really, I don't know, like parents are just like not in the right mood and stuff.
Yes.
So how do you advise them?
Well, it's difficult, but if you can just sit back a bit, because when someone is being practical, money, you have to look for the money. So the most practical thing is you need to look for the money, but can you just sit back a little bit and know that there is more to life? Yes, these are, in Bulgaria I say, we are and see. Like, can I just spend time? Because yes, I'm looking for money to pay for fees, but I think what I value the most is the relationship. We have these little kids, and when you go back home and then they see you and they are smiling like, yeah, you're back. There's a way that makes me very happy. I'm like, wow, someone is happy to see me. So I guess at that point, it's important when you phase out and you first live in that moment. Now for the children, it's really easy. I know for the teenagers also, get out of the intense thing. Life has been hard through the day. So let's come back home and say, okay, what's there? So you think you know how to play what, chess or draft? I'll teach you. Come, I teach you. That's what I do. I talk a lot of this confident talk that like I'm really, really good at this, whether I'm good or not, whatever it is. So and if I just happen to win, that's the end of his life. Like I will talk about it like I'm really. So sometimes just enjoying. Now some people are a bit too serious. It's important to be less serious with the children, so that the children don't think that life is hectic. True life can be difficult. You're looking for fees, but sit back. So the thing is that just sit back a little bit and relax. Because thank God for the children and spend time with them. I think for now that's what we can do. If you can resolve as a parent to just sit back a bit and say, you know what, the God who has seen me through these years will actually we will make a way. You celebrate time and you loosen up a little bit. I feel like in doing that you're actually making a mark. Okay, because another thing I have learned is that our children now are very intelligent. You might think they do not know what is going on, but they know. They know that you're stressed out, you're looking for fees, but since they think, since you think they don't know, they will also act like they don't know, but they actually know. They know when you're happy, they know when you're not happy, and so sometimes if you can just talk to them about it, it means that you are willing to open up with them, and they can give you suggestions whether they are helpful or not, and maybe they're also part of the problem. So opening up a little bit, not hiding things, and then you carry the whole thing on your shoulders. So you come back home and you just lock yourself in the bedroom and say, I'm tired, don't disturb, because you've had a long day. You come out and be with them, spend time with them, and not wait for that on your deathbed when the children are also working and they also don't have time to be with you.
Wow, Stella.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I've been, when you said that, I was reminded of those days when we were young, when it was about school time and there's no money, and Dad used to be so tough that when you'd hear his car, you would remop the house, already washed clothes, like you would do everything, and then when it would come the time for giving him the lists for shopping, oh my goodness, you just pray one of his favorite friends comes along so that the mood changes, and then just about then you throw there the lists. Otherwise, if you throw them there when he's in the other mood, everything will be crossed off. Yeah, so what do I think? When you are very stressed out, like you say, children these days are very intelligent. I remember one time I went home, that day I was so broke, and saw a little boy, he's 4.5, he came and said, Mommy, why do you look sad? I told him I don't have money. So he said, I'm going to tell Jesus to give you money.
Wow.
And for me, that now these days, whenever he asks me for something, I'll tell him, tell Jesus to give Mommy and Daddy money. So sometimes maybe we need to talk to the children to let it out. and say, you know what, this is what we are going through. You are 5 of you, each of you is paying 2 million. I can't even raise this much, but let's pray about it. Let's trust God. Sometimes when you air it out to these children, you don't know, they might not solve the problem, but they might make you feel a little bit lighter. That's what I think.
And even when they go to school, they'll be knowing, this money,
the struggle is real.
Yeah, I have to be serious.
To be serious,
I think
yes.
that makes a lot of sense. Wow. So, now the viewer out there, I know we are about to go off for a break, but maybe we can briefly just talk about it and then we go off for a break. So, why is it really important to do all that you're talking about? Are there tangible things that you feel like, maybe because I had a good time with my children during the season, is it anyway it's going to help them, or it's just for showbiz, like we are here to jazz? Yeah.
Well, I think it's for future benefits. It's for future benefits. I think it's about establishing a bond with these young people. A lifelong bond. There is no time to create that bond, and when you do that and you're able to open up with them, be vulnerable at that age, I feel like that's a prime time to establish that kind of bond. And who does not want that kind of bond with their child? So it's very, very important. I feel like that is that, because I think as children grow up, the older they grow, the more they get detached.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
True. Yeah.
So
they're taken up by many things.
I mean, for us, we're still happy. We have these some young ones who like to run to you, but there's also this other one who wants to be in his room. And I feel like that's where they're going. Yeah. So before you get to that point where you're going to reach out. Right now, I think the bond is very, very important.
Okay, thank you, Joel. Wow, I know we'll start from there, but let's take a very short break. This show returns in a bit. Please don't change the station. We are coming just in a bit. Thank you.